And clearly, it's as though the NDC feels that they have lost the election, and so should Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia be declared the president of the president of Ghana. It's purpose that the Ghanaian people, or it's a purpose that the government of the day or the security services have rigged an election. This is going to be a free, fair, transparent election. And I will call Sammy Gyamfi and the rest of the NDC apparatus to really be very mindful of how they turn out these misinformation and disinformation about credible state institutions, particularly the Ghana Armed Forces, and in the person of Brigadier General Opoku, who has worked tirelessly for this country, served this country in peacekeeping, has been on the mandate of the country, protecting this country and ensuring that we have the peace and serenity that we do have. The police are the people that protect internal elections, that protect internal security. And so I want to call out Sammy Gyamfi very strongly to condemn his allegations and to state that it holds no matter.
Dr. Boakye Danquah, you made a post on your X platform after this, and you were very emphatic about what you said there. Do you still stand by your post on X?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've re-emphasized the same thing that I stated on my X yesterday, this morning.
So with your permission, I would like to read it to Ghanaians.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
So Dr. Palgrave Boakye Danquah at Palgrave Danquah says, and he tags Sammy Gyamfi, he mentions him in this post, "We are in a very crucial moment of our democracy and a very heated elections. All candidates are busy campaigning to the electorates, sharing policy ideas and developmental plans. In the security services, no one is ready to jeopardize the peace and serenity we have enjoyed in this Fourth Republic. What your presser seeks to achieve is to put fear and panic in the Ghanaian people. You're leading a charge to mislead, misinform, disinform, and denigrate the hard work of a military officer with 3 more ranks to the top. Growing up as a Bemakam boy, Juba Villas, number 48, it is very clear that no properly trained military officer can be indisciplined in the manner in which you portray in your presser, especially with the rank of a brigadier general, stating very clearly that the December 7th elections will be free, fair, transparent, and the mandate of the Ghanaian people will not be denied them through your allegations. Only one person will be elected as president from 2025. And that person, democratically elected, will be sworn into office as constitutionally required. The strategy of the NDC to continue with the arrogant press conferences and public statements should be guided in light of our collective responsibility of free speech and expression. We will be waiting for your petitions to go to the various offices you mentioned and try not to be mischievous in the next few days. We pledge peaceful elections for all Ghanaians." And you see various media houses. So that is Dr. Palgrave Boakye Danquah's post on X, and essentially everything he posted there, he has reiterated today in our conversation here. We'll come back and have conversations more on this with him, because as government spokesperson on security, this borders on the issue of security. Let me come to you, Dr. Tanko. Thank you for your time. Dr. Tanko, based on the Dr. Tanko, if you can hear us, based on the evidence, okay. Dr. Tanko, as we try to, okay, yes, you are here. On what evidence or on what leg are you standing to make these very grave allegations?
Let me say good morning to your cherished viewers and to Palgrave, Dr. Palgrave and yourself. I'm sure you should rather be asking, why was this man promoted to a brigadier general instead of being demoted, and to the extent of being even made the commanding officer of Central Command? Are you aware that in January 2019, he was indicted by a short commission after the Ayewa West Wagon debacle? Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that report? I'm asking you. I'm sure you should have asked Palgrave about this. He is into security. He is a spokesperson of government security and all that. The commission, which has the powers of High Court, indicted this officer for having presided over that terrible incident that happened at Ayawaso West Wuogon, where they brought in party tax and disguised them as national security officers. And they were wielding arms and other dangerous weapons, unleashed a mayhem on innocent Ghanaians. He admitted to it. This officer, he was the director of operations at National Security Secretariat, and he presided over this dastardly act, which tarnished the image of Ghana. This is the officer we are talking about, and which the commission, led by Emil Short, indicated that this officer should be reprimanded.
Okay, Dr. Sanko.
Do you reprimand somebody by promoting him? Is that how the reprimand is? When they say you should reprimand somebody, does that mean you should promote that person? Is that the understanding of reprimand?
Dr. Sanko, I'm trying to see the correlation between the reprimand and then the allegations that he is going to be used to rig the elections.
Hold on. There's a clear correlation between that. Very clear. He knows it.
So please,
is a security officer.
Please establish it for us.
I'm saying that I'm a security officer. I did criminal justice, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm saying this was an officer who presided over an act that has something to do with elections. They needed to win the by-election at all costs. So they had to, he was the officer commanding those guys. He was the Director General of Operations. So all these things that happened there was under his watch. The commission saw this and said, no, this officer must be reprimanded for what he did. It tarnished the image of GAF, it tarnished the image of this country, and our electoral system was bastardized. That is what the commission came out there. That was their conclusion. What did they do? NPP, as usual of them, they came out with a white paper and rubbish it. When the officer himself admitted for culpability of that act, NPP came out, the government of NPP, led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, came out with a white paper and rubbish all that. Only for the gentleman to be promoted to a brigadier general. That is a reprimand for you. In NPP, when they say reprimand, it means promotion. He was promoted to a brigadier general. As early as June or July, he was made a commanding officer of Central Command. For what purpose? This is election year. We are going to election. An officer who caused this mess as far back January 2019, and it's a blot on the Ghana democracy. That officer is now going to preside over an election matter again.
Is he going? Has he gone there? Has he been posted there to go and preside over elections?
What is he doing over there as a commanding officer for that? Don't you think that the GAF is also part of the election task?
Oh, Dr. Sanko, it's not about what I think. It's about what is spelled out in the work of the military as they go, as they.
Well, that is why we are saying his history doesn't make him any person that you should
okay,
trust.
so Dr. Sanko, if I should
have that, he doesn't. I am saying that his background, his history, doesn't allow such a person to go and preside over a command like that.
But is
what we are talking about.
Is it the government that sends somebody to go and preside over a command, or it is from the military's leadership that determines that this person must go here or there, Dr. Sanko? Because if I should understand you properly, you are saying that based on his history, that is why you are projecting that he is going to rig the elections for the NPP. We want to ascertain the concrete leg on which these allegations stand on. Maybe you have intercepted certain documents that go to suggest that he's been sent into the Ashanti region to do this and that. It is these questions that we want to understand.
Well, I'm saying that, look, the high command of the military are appointed or promoted at the behest of the president. That's why we want to change this constitution. We must amend this constitution. It's at the behest of the president. Is he not the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces? You people talk, you don't see this aspect. He's the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. The CDS or whoever and other people are under him. They get command from him. What he asks them to do is what they do, because that's their commander. And I'm saying that those positions and other things, who puts where and who puts there, is under the behest of the president. He's the chairman of the National Security Secretariat. He is the chairman. And so whatever he does, or you see over there, is mirrored to the president's. And I'm saying that the gentleman history, as put out by Sammy Gyamfi yesterday, is very clear. They shouldn't think that 2019 is far away from what we are doing now. His history is very clear. And I'm saying that paragraph should be defining the meaning of reprimand to Ghanaians. Let us know the meaning of reprimand. Reprimand doesn't mean you should promote somebody. Or is the lexicon that they have is different from what we have all learned. And I'm saying that man is there. And the way he did Ayawaso Wogon, where he managed to get all these people, assemble them, train them, gave them those heavy weapons and all that to go and unleash it on innocent Ghanaians. Now he has a command. He's now sitting there as a commander of Central Command. And we are telling you, that's why we said we are going to report this matter to the IGP. We are sending, and to the diplomatic mission. We will send his videos. All of that to the diplomatic mission.
Dr. Tanko, from what you have given me so far, it seems to suggest that because of Ayawaso West Wuogon, because of what happened, you are drawing on that to say that this is what will happen in Kumasi. Or in the Ashanti region, we thought that we would get more than you have given us. So if there's more, we'll be really glad to have it so that...
I'm saying that there's more. The thing is that, did you follow what Sammy Gyamfi read yesterday?
I did. The presser was...
Yes. And didn't he say something about, we have evidence, intelligence? He knows, look.
Okay, so Dr. Palgrave says that he will ask that whatever information you have, he will suggest that you send it to the right authorities instead of putting it out there.
Didn't we say that we are going to send that intelligence that we have to the right channel? We are just telling Ghanaians what we have trampled upon.
Dr. Tanko,
we are telling Ghanaians, and we are
barely 18.
Telling Ghanaians.
Okay, please go on.
I'm saying that we are telling Ghanaians the history of this man and what we have just uncovered. His short stay in Ashanti, where the Central Command headquarters, where he's stationed, what we have uncovered, and what they plan doing. All the details, we will give it to the right source. But we are saying that it won't deter NDC a bit. It won't deter NDC. We are all Ghanaians.
Dr. Tanko,
we are all Ghanaians. That's one day we are very clear in our mind.
Right.
We are just telling Ghanaians that, look, should anything happen to our peace, the peace that we are enjoying in this country, put it at the doorstep of these people.
Okay. Do you not think that barely 18 days to the elections, this was not a good time to come out with a presser such as these? We understand how volatile the environment could be when we are entering into elections based on emotional sentiments and all. Was this the right time to put out an information like this? If you had sent it to the right through the right channels to the right people, don't you think it would have made more impact than the presser yesterday?
Look, these people, the group that we are dealing with, they don't want to be dealt with behind camera. No, that's not the group we are dealing with. This group are the type that they need public to know what they are doing, then they will come clean. You know, our dealing with the Electoral Commission. When we went into meeting with them and presented our evidence about the nature of the register they gave to us, didn't they come out to deny a lot of things?
Dr. Tanko.
But when we went publicly, when we went public on it, hit them hard, went on demonstration on it, what happened?
Okay.
Didn't they succumb?
I'll come back to you. I want to go to
They cleaned the register and brought out the correct register.
I want to go to Dr. Boakye Dankwa.
You want us to secretly go and give them evidence about this, and they'll sit on it, drag their feet when it's levels on few days to elections, we will make it public.
Okay.
That's why we brought it out public for the general public to
but
follow.
I'll come back to you because in my question I'm asking about relevant authorities, but we seem to be mixing authorities with the NPP. It seems like now they have become synonymous.
What is the authority? The authority we have in Ghana is NPP.
Well,
when you people talk, don't delink them. The authority you have in Ghana currently is NPP.
So, Dr. Sanko, if the NDC wins the elections, MPP is going to, if the NDC wins this election, it is MPP that is going to declare you winners. If you tell us not to delink.
I'm saying that, look, listen to what I'm saying. There are appointees over there. They are MPP. You know them. You know them.
Dr. Sanko, I'll come back to you so that.
Don't hide away. Dr. Piahini, ask Palgrave. Dr. Piahini, what was he in MPP? Before he became a commissioner, what was he? Is he not an MPP man?
So I'll come back to
MPP
you.
Director of Election Board.
Right, I'll come back to you, Dr. Palgrave Bwachidankwa. Dr. Sanko has made many allegations. This latest one is that we shouldn't delink the authorities with the NPP. Seems that you are two but one. I'll give you the opportunity to address that, and then after that, I'll ask the question I have for you.
Okay, so Abena, you know that you called me at a very short notice. So
I did.
I cannot stay long on this interview.
We are yes, right. We are grateful for the time.
It's okay, but really to state that anyone who understands how governance works will clearly want to do the right thing. I'm gradually getting deeply concerned with the manner in which opposition political parties handle sensitive information in the interest of the peace and security and serenity of this country. Where we sit in the security, we do not see NPP, we do not see NDC, we do not see CPP. What we see is Ghana. And if anyone is minded to be where we are or has been where we are before, the person would be guided with how they encourage their political party to misinform, disinform, and cause unnecessary fear and panic. It is very clear that the government of this day has been brought into office by the New Patriotic Party. When you come into office through a political party channel, because that's how we do our democracy and that's how we do our governance, you swear an oath to lead the entire country. Besides, it's not an overwhelming 100% of the Ghanaian populace who voted either in the 2016 election or the 2020 election that made you president. It's a section that gave you a 50 plus 1%, that gave you a simple majority to become president. And so you govern in the interest of the Ghanaian people. In the past week or two, I've been thinking about the leadership of this Fourth Republic. And I'm being guided with what I'm saying because I recall when President John Agyekum Kufuor became president. In the very early years of his first term, he set up a reconciliation commission. I have taken time over the past 3 weeks to listen to all the conversations that went on through the Reconciliation Commission and how former President Jerry John Rawlings, may he so rest in peace, governed from 1979 to 2000 before he handed over democratically after being the first democratically elected president of the Fourth Republic. But I could imagine how we have gone through as a country, the healing processes that we have gone through, how people had to put behind them all the pain, the atrocities, the lives that were lost through the regime of the PNDC and through the military regime. I'm guided by that. And I'm guided as well that in this election, it is important that the NDC, having a background of revolution, having a background of military, having a background of all the issues that the country has gone through, should be minded and guided about their reportage. because it is important. If history must guide us in everything that we do, then the new NDC is a political party that the Ghanaian people should not ever give an opportunity to come into governance, because we know who the NDC is by history. But clearly, we want to be able to put that history behind us and be able to forge ahead as a collective people of good acumen, of good reasoning, and of good intellect in the security and the peace of this country. In conclusion, Dr. Tanko has reassessed a lot more and rehashed a lot more of what Sammy Gyamfi did yesterday. It clearly tells you that that's the position of the NDC. And there is no need going along the conversation if the NDC continues to want to have an entrenched position. And I'm stating it very clearly here on this platform that the New Patriotic Party, the government of the NDC, MPP, which is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the security officials, in addition to the security steering committee that is leading this election, none of us, in the interest of the peace of the country, is desiring to rig this election. If you want to accept defeat before the battle is even had, then the NDC should be able to state that we withdraw from this election, and that we have seen that we have failed in all our opportunity to want to lead the Ghanaian people, and we support the MPP in this election and support Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to become the next president of the Republic of Ghana. Rather than taking a posture of today, this state institution, of tomorrow, this person, and antagonizing all the state institutions, minded that one day, maybe in the foreseeable future of the next 50 years or the next 70 years, when the NDC has an opportunity to come into office, you would work with state institutions. And so be minded with how you antagonize. Be minded with how you turn out informations that are not proven. If you think about the peace of this country, Sammy Gyamfi would not have had the press conference that he did. If their leader, John Dramani Mahama, a former president of the Republic of Ghana, a former commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, is minded about the peace and serenity of this country, he would not have commissioned Sammy Gyamfi to lead the press conference that he did yesterday. Like I stated, it's about 18 more days to the general election. We want peace to prevail and remain in this country. The security apparatus is ensuring that peace prevails. It's under the remit of the IGP. And so to bring in a military person, you know, it's only in recent times that we are able to have security conversations in the manner in which we are having. I'm not too old, but those that are old would always tell you that it did not used to be so in the years past. That today, because of the level of freedom that we have to be able to express ourselves, because of the generality of information that is available and how quickly one would be able to get it, people can easily mislead and misinform and turn out information in the manner in which that was not be credible enough. And later on, when they realize that the information that they have turned out is being misinformed and misinterpreted and should not have been, they will not come to the same platform to be able to even apologize to the Ghanaian people and the global world. Let's remember that we have had stable democracy in this fourth republic, almost 32 years, still young and still fragile. This election is going to be peaceful, it's going to be fair, there's going to be a smooth transfer of power.
Okay, there will be a smooth transfer of power. Dr. Palgrave, before you go, you mentioned that you would be leaving soon. In October, the Director of Communications for the NPP, Richard Ahiadba, unveiled a document that purported to be NDC's secret plan to win the 2024 elections. In relation to this, don't you think that these unsubstantiated allegations, the NDC have made some allegations The NPP also made allegations in October. Don't you think that these allegations tend to heighten the tension, and it is about time that in our body politic we do away with these allegations when we are getting closer to the elections, as they undermine our peace and security?
Abena, you recall the press statement that the Director of Communication had in October. He unveiled a document and made it public for the Ghanaian people to see. Do you recall that? It's a very clear difference.
Dr. Tanko and
Dr.
Palgrave and Dr. Tanko, my apologies, we may lose you for just a second. Kindly rejoin us and give us your submissions. Please don't leave us. So we may lose you for just a second or two. Kindly join the conversation again. Thank you. So we are speaking with Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, who is the Director for Elections and IT of the NDC, and also Dr. Palgrave Boakye Danquah, who is government spokesperson on security and governance. Dr. Boakye Danquah says that the NPP will not rig the elections, and we should be mindful of the things we say about rigging elections, especially when we bring in the security agencies as those who will be masterminding this. It throws off our security as a nation. Dr. Tanko still stands by what yesterday the Director of Communications for the NDC, Sammy Gyamfi, says. He says that they have gathered their intel and they are very sure, very confident about what they have gathered, that the NPP and the President, through Brigadier General Michael Opoku, will be rigging the elections, the 2024 elections, in favor of the NPP. Yesterday, the NDC had an extensive presser. The presser centered around Brigadier General Michael Opoku. They gave a background to him, his history, right from the by-elections held in Ayawaso, West Wuogon, where the Emil Short Commission, they say, captured him as being culpable and complicit in the violence that happened there. We are joined by Dr. Tanko again. When we get Dr. Boakye Danquah, we'll have him give us his final submission, as he has to leave the conversation to attend to other urgent matters. But thank you, Dr. Tanko. Thank you for all of your time every time we get in touch with you. Dr. Tanko, you said that you've given us a background to Brigadier General Michael Opoku, a background that the NDC believes that we all should be mindful of, so that when we see anything happening, especially in the Ashanti region, we should know that NDC raised the caution. They blew the alarm for Ghanaians to pay particular attention to it. Dr. Tanko.
Very well.
Isn't the NDC setting up supporters to think that in that case, or in that event that the election does not go in your favor, you were cheated? Isn't all of these in a way to cushion you?
Who cheated? Who cheated? Who is going to cheat us? We are telling you that we are winning this election.
Which you have said so many times on that platform. You've even given us the percentage you will be getting.
Yes. We are winning this election. We are winning this election.
Then, Dr. Tanko, if you are sure
that is why we are telling you all these things.
Okay.
But that is why we are bringing this one to the fore. And we are telling the general public to be awake that as they are preparing to vote for JDM, John Dramani Mahama, some evil forces are working behind the scene to create commotion in this country. And that because they want to use state apparatus to cause mayhem, we want them to guard their victory. We gave them the weapons. It's the people of Ghana. Our taxes, the monies that we are paying, the taxes that we are paying, that is why they used to arm them, to protect the citizens, not to use it against the citizens. Our population is more than them. The security forces combined. Our population in Ghana, the non-security people, we are more than them.
Dr. Tanko.
And so, I'm telling you that what we are doing is to bring peace to Ghana. We are telling them, look, the rhetorics, I wanted my friend to be around, Palgrave, and I tell him that the rhetorics he was just putting out there, doesn't mirror anything of them. Didn't they say similar things to the by-election? Well, in this country. Didn't they come out and were telling Ghanaians that the election was going to be peaceful and all that? What happened at the end of it? What happened? And he's talking of people should, if we are not interested in the election, we should back. Who should back out? NPP should rather back out. Because Ghanaians are fed up with them. They should back out. Of course, we know we are going to win this election, and they can't do anything, but they will hand over, whether they like or not. The hand. The power doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the people. The state power that they are using, it belongs to.
Dr. Tanko, you say that there are issues. Why not just single Brigadier General out and ask?
Ghanaians vote for NDC, and you tell me that you won't hand over. You will hand over and leave. When we lost the election in 2016, with all the state powers that we have, didn't you hand over? Did we have anything to do? Okay. We couldn't stay even one hour. Shortly after we lost power, we prepared our handing over notes and handed over to them peacefully. We have lost. Ghanaians said they don't want NDC in 2016, and we handed over to them. In all their machinations in 2020, we still accepted the election after we went to court, and they allowed all the nonsense that went through the court system. We didn't say anything. Today, you see, we are left with 17 days. You see how God works. That's how God works. Destiny works in a way that you and I will not understand. Their time is up. They can't do anything. That's what we are telling them. If you want to use these military guys in uniform to misbehave, Ghanaians will stand up to them. Okay. I'm telling you, Ghanaians are ready to stand up to them. That's what we are saying.
Since we are on this conversation about security and security agencies, yesterday the police service had a conference. The IGP spoke and he mentioned that the security agencies are ready for the elections. Let's listen to him and then we'll come back for our conversation.
The Ghana Police Service as the lead agency and extension Inspector General Police as a chairperson.
It's not loud.
Task force. We want to assure you the elections will be very peaceful because of the measures we put in place. So Ghana, feel free, Ghanaians, feel free and live your life now. We have your back. Why am I saying this? This election has been touted as one of the most crucial elections in our history, and rightly so. But knowing from what we have done in terms of our preparation, the assurance is clear. Taking us more than 2 years preparing for these elections, because we have considered election to be a process and not an event. And these 2 years has led us to produce the first ever election blueprint for this country, covering every...
George Ekufu Dampare, who has said that the police is well in charge for the elections. Dr. Tanko, let me come back to you. The NPP raised similar allegations earlier this year. You are also raising these allegations these allegations at this time. Both of you are two major parties in this country, very strong parties that obviously determine how our elections will go. Before you answer this question, what do you make of what the IGP said, if you heard him clearly?
Well, let me tell you, the IGP is the officer in charge of election security. In fact, the police lead the election security. It's under their domain. It's an internal matter. It's an internal issue. It has nothing to do with the military. Completely. Elections security is under the watch of the IGP. It is only when the police are overwhelmed that sometimes they invite the security, the military, to just come and then bring order. But The military cannot just jump into the free and start misbehaving. I don't even see why military should be at the collation center. That led to the death of people at this in Techimasa. What were they doing there? What were they doing over there? When they shot innocent people and just killed them in cold blood. That is what we are talking about. See, so when you have all this history behind you, and then people come and be making noise about peace, and they don't want to look at all these things, that is why we have issues with them. The IGC spoke nicely. I mean, what he said yesterday was within the jurisdiction of what they are supposed to do. I mean, he has done it in Kumau. It was peaceful with all this thing. He did it at Asin North. After that, you saw what happened. They wanted to sack him. They were using all their imagination to sack him because Ghanaians were wide awake. Everybody was following the procedure. They couldn't sack him. They were preparing the grounds to remove him because of what he did at Asin North and Kumau by-elections. All these things. Do you know that in the Asin North, we saw some semblance of some military guys, and because of our eagle eyes was following them all that, they had to run out of the place. We accosted some of them and asked them, what were they doing over there? Who brought you? They couldn't, they were standing there. We started filming them, taking pictures or videos of them. And when they realized that pictures and videos were being taken, they took off. These are the kind of things we are talking of today. Now, who is deploying those people? Who just sit down and deploy people like that to come out and then go when they are not known and all that? These are the issues we are talking about. And you, the media, should be interested in that. And that is why we are calling on them that, look, this information we are picked, we are giving it to the IGP. And then all relevant bodies, international community, our development partners, will give it to them. That this year election, the polling stations, collation center, we don't want to see any green person there. Go and bring any military man or anything near the polling station with weapons. They will have to contain us. That one is a fact. And we know it. We know the deployment distance. As we speak now, look, we have it. We have their deployment, the police, all their deployment plan. We have it as a party. And we know who is sent where. So in the deployment mechanism, we didn't see any military person amongst them. And so we don't expect to see military at the polling stations and the collation centers. Is the police, are they telling us the police cannot handle it? The IGP spoke nicely yesterday. He's in charge. He's in charge. What will make people to go and foment trouble at polling stations? It is only those who want to snatch ballot boxes. Okay. They are the people who cause trouble. And this year, if you try it, we'll finish you before you get home. Try and come and say you want to snatch any ballot box. I'm
Dr. Sanko,
anybody who dare to try to come and say he wants to snatch a ballot box, like what they did in 2020, some constituencies in Ahafo, we have all the evidence. Do you know that some 2 polling stations could not be counted for in 2020 because they snatched the ballot boxes and ran away? This year, we are prepared for them. Anybody who tried to come and snatch ballot papers, we will collect the ballot box from you and you will be sent to Asamandu. That one day we are not going to listen. If the security cannot protect those ballot boxes and allow criminals to come and snatch ballot boxes, we will take the law into our own hands and deal with them. Because that is, you are want to steal people a mandate, and the Constitution allows me to do that. If the security officer is standing there and he cannot protect it, and allow somebody to come and snatch the ballot box, we will protect it. Tell me that there's no law like that, and I'll point you the Constitution, where the law says I must defend the Constitution of this country.
Okay. Dr. Sanko, the question I was asking before we took this submission, the MPP and the NDC, these allegations, don't you think that you are heightening the tensions that may brew in the country with these allegations that both of you keep bringing out? MPP did theirs in October, you have done yours in November. Aren't you just heightening tensions?
Which allegation are we heightening? Which allegation?
Yesterday you said that Brigadier General Opoku is a hatchet. You used that word. A hatchet for President Akufo-Addo to rig the elections. You've been specific about him, directly to him. This is the person. And because of one person, then it means that we have to take a look at the whole force don't you think that these allegations from both sides, I don't single you out, from both sides, don't you think that you are heightening the tension in the country?
If you say allegation, I don't understand. What kind of allegation are you talking about? The NDC. What's
your presser?
Yes. The presser Sami Jenfi did. He recounted the history of this man. Okay. Anytime you people they were attacking Gerolis, were they not referring to AFRC and PNDC? Anytime they were talking about Gerolis, those days, sorry, you were young at that time. We were the revolutionaries. Anytime they talk about us, they say we are revolutionary because of AFRC and then PNDC. Is that not what the NPP? Go and check their press conferences of the 1990s, the late 90s, and early 2000s, and you will see that anytime they want to attack NDC, they are referring to PNDC, AFRC, the excesses. That's what they are always referred to. So you cannot discount that. So when we are talking about the current issues, we are referring to this gentleman, his excesses, his prior activities towards his appointment, and we are saying that the Commission of Inquiry that sat on that matter indicted him. They made a recommendation that he should be reprimanded.
And I'm asking
my brother to be here. You should have asked Paragraph what is the meaning of reprimand. When they say a Commission of Inquiry said reprimand somebody for his action in one or two things, what does that mean? He's a security officer. Is he not the one's government spokesperson or security?
Dr. Tanko, what I'm asking you is that your comments from both sides, aren't you heightening the tension in the country? Aren't you brewing tensions that are not needed? We understand from what you have explained, you've given us his history and all, but both of you, at this time of the year, shouldn't this be the time where you cease bringing out such information because you are heightening the tensions that will brew?
No, I don't think so. We are not heightening the tension at all. We are committed to peace. I can assure you, the NDC is committed to peace. We want a peaceful country. Look, when I travel out, I don't want to stay for even after a week. I want to come back. Ghana is very beautiful. It's a nice place, and we enjoy ourselves too much. Okay, it's a beautiful place.
Okay.
We want it to be very peaceful. We want everybody to be around. You see, when we make the country lovely, nobody will go to American embassy or British and be looking for visa to go and do what? Maybe to just go and rest and come back. Okay. That one there, it's a beautiful place.
Okay. So you are committed to peace.
Oh no, very much committed. Our leader is committed. He spoke it when the chief imam and then the Christian council and all that held a peace conference at the State House. You remember he had to cut short his campaign. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He was up north. He has to cut short it and flew down to Accra, from Tamale to Accra, to join the team and made a very important statement, committed to peace processes and all that. But the state actor, the president, his vice president were not where to be found. Tell me whether they are committed to peace. Such a high-powered organization called for a peace. They didn't come. They chicken out, but they are on platform making noise. A platform that they needed them to come and commit themselves. The president was nowhere to be found. The vice president was still campaigning and throwing salvos. But John Dramani Mahama cut short his campaign and participated in that. So tell me, who is interested in peace? The NDC is more committed to peace than these people. Their history doesn't show that they are interested in peace. This group that we are dealing with,
all right,
they are not committed to peace. I'm telling you, watch it. And we are saying that we will protect the interests of Ghanaians. The democracy will protect it. That is what we are doing. We are doing that to protect the democracy for you the young ones, so that you continue to enjoy democracy. We don't want what is going on in the sub-region. We don't want it in Ghana at all. We want our democracy that we started in 1992 to continue to exist for the next 50 years to come. It should continue to exist.
Okay.
And that is why we are doing all these things. So that if we have rocks elements who think that their airport strings are tied to the government of the day and want to disturb the democracy, we will disturb them first. That one there, we won't allow it.
Dr. Tanko, thank you for your time this morning. And as usual, we'll come back to you for more conversation. But we are grateful for your time this morning.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is the Deputy Director for Elections and IT at the National Democratic Congress. We earlier also spoke with Dr. Palgrave Boakye Dankwa, and together they gave us their thoughts and submissions on the peace and security of the country. The NDC has alleged that the NPP has a grand scheme to rig the 2024 elections. Dr. Palgrave Boakye Dankwa says that the NPP will not rig the elections. Dr. Tanko also says that the NDC is committed to peace and they will protect the interest of Ghanaians. And that's all for our main discussion this morning. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back for more. In the morning, like we've been doing for you since Monday. Every day we'll take a look at a constituency in the country, throw some spotlights on it so that if you do not understand anything about it, you get it. Maybe you are in that constituency and this may direct the way you vote during the elections. Here on ABC News GH, we give you the credible guide to your elections. That's why we are the poll center. But my colleague Samuel Nimagbo is on hand to give us politics today.
This is where the headlines are probed. Policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it is a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to? Have you thought about managing that hurdle?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the fray to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana television.
Mid-year budget review with some key allocations.
We are currently here at Kanishi.
When the news breaks, we are there. In the heart of matters arising, we follow through with the right question. Don't miss a beat with our in-depth news analysis. From breaking news, special feature stories, latest news, we bring you the stories that matter. Our team of immersed reporters bring you the news as it happens. Join us every 6 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. each day for a comprehensive look at the stories beyond the headlines.
2 to 1.
You're watching ABC News GH.
ABC News GH, your trusted source for news.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia #1 on the ballot. Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia #1 on the ballot.
You can advertise your brand or business on ABC News GH television. Call us on 030-278-8645 or 050-993-0360 to secure your slot. You can advertise your brand or business on ABC News GH television. Call us on 030-278-8645 or 050-993-0360 to secure your slot.
For the outcome of the SWAT operation at the Labaoleshi School polling station, unquote. So, apart from his own confession, after the investigations by the Short Commission, they found that this man was ultimately responsible. And if we can see the extract from the Short Commission report, specifically paragraph 3.4 and 3.5. So, this is an extract from the Elmi Short Commission report on the Ayawaso West Wagon by-election mayhem. And if you read paragraph 3.4, this is what the commission had to say. This is not the NDC talking. This is not Sami Jenfi talking. This is the Elmi Short Commission constituted by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself. I quote, "The commission recommends the reprimand of Colonel Michael Opoku," at the time he was a colonel, "for being ultimately responsible for the outcome of the SWAT operation at the Labaoleshi School polling station. His liability is further reinforced by his failure to properly define the mission for which the SWAT team was sent and ensuring that the SWAT team complied with the defined mission. Further, he failed to conduct an internal inquiry into identifying the culprits of the offense when revelations became rife that there were operational lapses resulting in violations of human rights. If you go on to paragraph 3.5 of the Commission's report, it says, quote, "It is further recommended that Colonel Opoku be made to immediately release the weapons used for, as well as the persons involved in the operation, to enable ballistic testing and analysis to be undertaken and for further investigations by the police." Now, sadly but unsurprisingly, President Akufo-Addo, under whose leadership the said atrocities were committed by Colonel Opoku and his bandits, rejected the findings of the commission in his infamous white paper. To add insult to injury, President Akufo-Addo and the NPP have now promoted this man to the high rank of Brigadier General and rewarded him with the position of General Officer Commanding of the Central Command of the Ghana Armed Forces. I must say, the revered Ghana Armed Forces. This is what has further emboldened him to champion yet another election rigging scheme through violence. In his current position, and for those who don't know, this is a position given to him only in 2024. He was appointed in April and inducted in July of this year. And if you can go back to that green image, the extract from the Ghana Armed Forces website, you will see it. Central Command inducts Brigadier General Opoku into office. And if you look at the date, is 16 July 2024. So this is not a mere coincidence. This is the chief hatchet man of Akufo-Addo and the NPP. Strategically promoted when he should be reprimanded and punished, and rewarded with this critical position as a central, the commanding officer of the Central Command. And when we say Central Command, the headquarters of the Central Command is Kumasi, Ashanti region to be precise. I'm happy that the former regional minister and chair of RECSEC, Dr. Samuel Sapon, is here.
Hello there, good morning, and you are welcome to another section of politics today here on ABC in the morning. I am your host, Samuel Nyimabo, and in the next few minutes, we'll be dissecting yet another very intriguing constituency ahead of the 2024 elections. This constituency is very key for the voters in there and even for the outcome of the general elections, be it the presidential elections in the 2024 elections. We have just some 16 days to the elections, so it's very crucial that we keep an eye on this constituency. Now, I am talking about the Klote-Korle constituency of the Greater Accra region. This constituency is called Klote-Korle. If you look at the district assembly or the municipal assembly, it is rather called the Korle-Klote Municipal Assembly. So don't mistake yourself for that. It is Klote-Korle constituency and Korle-Klote Municipal Assembly. So we are here to talk about the Klote-Korle constituency ahead of the 2024 elections. Now, this constituency is located in Accra. It has areas. The main area in this constituency is Osu. Part of Labone is part of this constituency. The part of Aslam Down is also part of this constituency. Now it is bordered around. It is bordered to Ododo Diodo constituency. You have the Ayawase Central bordering it as well around the Kwame Nkrumah interchange circle, Dubai interchange. There you have even the Ayawase East constituency also bordering this. This constituency as well. So it is located at the heart of Greater Accra because we have Parliament. The Parliament House of Ghana is located in this constituency. Accra International Conference Center is located in this constituency as well. Some very big areas. You have the previously the court the judges residential area where the National Cathedral is located now. It is also located in this constituency. So there is a lot of places, big places that you can mention in this constituency. And let us not forget that the Osu Castle, who used to be the seat for the presidency up until 2013, the Christiansborg Castle is also located in this constituency, the Klote-Korle constituency of the Greater Accra region. So this constituency is very dicey. If you look at the vote pattern since 1992 to 2020, you would realize that it is one of the swing constituencies as we head into the 2024 elections. Although the NDC has some advantage in terms of the parliamentary elections, they've won it quite a number of times above or ahead of their main contenders, the NPP. It is still highly contested. We have the daughter of the former president, the first president of the Fourth Republic, Zaneto Agyeman-Rawlings, contesting again after winning twice in that constituency already. She's going for her third contest, and she's going to face a very strong rival in the person of Valentino Ninoy. Now, this is going to be very key. Valentino, who used to be an independent candidate, he's coming back on the ticket of the NPP, and it's going to be a very tough contest. In this constituency as well, you have, it's a mixture of middle class, a mixture of middle class and business community as well, a mixture of some very rich people as well, because like I mentioned, areas such as Aslam Down, Ridge, and all these areas are part of that constituency. It's a mixture of the middle class, the rich, and those below the belt as well. So let's not bother you with let me not bother you with a lot of the background and what this constituency is. Now let's go straight into the analysis of the result patterns since 1992. Let's start with the presidential elections in this constituency. Now, as you can see here, this is the presidential result, the trends in the presidential result in this constituency. Now, you realize that from 96, you realize that the NDC had a marginal win in 96, went ahead. They had a very marginal win in 96 and went ahead to lose it in 2000 actually, when they lost the presidential election in 2000, lost it in 2004 as well. That was the time of the former president J.A. Kufuor. Now they came back in 2008. NDC came back in 2008 to win it with some 51% there. If you look at here, they won it with a marginal win. Now 2012, they won it again with some marginal win. 2016, another marginal win. However, in 2016, in 2020, another marginal win. But if you look at the percentage, they increased their percentage in this constituency. So if you look at the NDC, like I mentioned earlier, it is a stronghold. If you look at the pattern, you realize that they only lost here, lost in 2000, lost in 2004. and then lost in 2016. So from 1996, the NDC has lost only thrice in the presidential elections in this constituency. That's what you should take note. Now let's look at the NPP. The NPP has won in 2000, won in 2004, and then won in 2016 when they staged that comeback, the first term of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2016. They won in this constituency as well, even though they lost in the parliamentary elections. We'll come to the parliamentary. Even though they lost in the parliamentary elections, they won with the presidential elections. Now, if you look at this, the numbers, what the numbers are saying is that for the NDC, anytime the NDC won this, the presidential election in this constituency, this figure, they need to get at least 49.something% of votes within this constituency to be able to win it. Now, the last time they won, which was in 2020, they had 52.46%. Can they maintain that position, or they will increase it, or they'll drop? 2024, 16 days to the elections will tell us what we should be looking out for. Now, the NPP as well, anytime they won in 2000, in 2004, and in 2016, it has been a bit of a marginal win. Apart from 2000, where they had about 55%, it has been a bit of marginal win in these three occasions. They've won with at least 51%. So the NDPP must also be looking out for this mark, 51%, to be able to win in this constituency as well. So this is how the presidential election has been within this constituency. Let's look at what the parliamentary elections has also been in this constituency. The trends in the parliamentary results in this constituency, the Klote-Korle constituency of the Greater Accra region. It is a swing constituency, as I mentioned earlier. It comes with sometimes they vote skirt and blouse, other times they vote direct. They vote for both the parliamentary and the presidential candidate of a particular party. So we'll be bringing you the parliamentary results as well. Quickly, let's look at the parliamentary results as well in this constituency. Now, with the parliamentary result, you see the pattern here again. NDC in 1996 won with a marginal win. Now, before 1996, in 1992, the Eagle Party won in this constituency. That is the first election in the Fourth Republic. The Eagle Party won in the parliamentary elections. 1996, NDC won with a marginal win, just marginal. 2000, they lost. In 2000, they lost again in 2004, came back in 2008 to win the parliamentary elections in this constituency. Came back, maintained their win in 2012, as you see here. Then they dropped in 2016. NDC, they dropped. They dropped in 2016. Actually, in 2016, I beg your pardon. In 2016, they won the elections. They won the parliamentary elections in 2016 as well, and then they went ahead to win the 2020. Because in 2016, there's a bit of a mistake here. In 2016, it was Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings who won the 2016 parliamentary elections for the NDC in this constituency as well. So this is how the parliamentary results also looks like in the constituency. Now let's go to the key contest, and in this key contest we want to focus from 2008. The two rivals, NDC and NPP, you look at the votes, the parliamentary election, in the parliamentary elections, the vote each candidate gets and the margin with which they win the parliamentary elections. Then we'll be able to make a projections based on the voting factors that we'll be looking at to see who can win in this constituency. Now, in 2008, there were two key contenders. Niama Ashite of the NDC in 2008. Now, after winning this election, he won with some 50.6%, a little over 30,000 votes. Came in 2008 also, the NPP Samuel Eje Tewia lost the election with some 46.3%, about 28,000 votes. This was how the contest was. A marginal win 50.6, 46.3, a bit of a marginal win, but it's still a win. If you look at the difference, it's about some 2,000 vote difference. Now, this man went ahead to become minister in under Mahama administration from 2012 up until 2017, from 2013 actually to 2017. But after winning these elections, he became the Greater Accra Regional Minister in 2009 up into 2013. So let's look at the 2012 result as well. These two faced each other again in 2012. In 2012, it was still in 2012. Let's look at the 2012 rather. In 2012, it was still Ni Ama Ashite and then Samuel Ajay Tewia. Let's look at what the 2012 results looks like. Ni Ama Ashite still won the 2012 elections. He was Greater Accra Regional Minister then. He won it. He got promoted to become the Communications Minister. Now, in 2012, he won it. But let's look at the margin. 48.55%. If you look at the percentage-wise, that was a drop. Because in the 2008 election, he won with some 50%, 50.6%. So there was a marginal drop in his percentage points here. Now in 2012, Samuel Ajay Tewia also lost, but he was still doing around the 46%. Just another marginal increase for him, but it was not enough to unseat Ni Ama Ashite in this election. Like I mentioned, he was very popular then. He was the Greater Accra Regional Minister. He went ahead to win the elections, and this is how the contest faced off in 2012. Now let's look at the 2016 election. 2016, then we had a new face for the NDC, a new face for the NPP, a new face for the NDC, and a new face for the NPP. For the NDC, a new face of Ghana's first president under the Fourth Republic, Senator Agyeman Rawlings. She won with 50.29%. 50.29%. 50.29%. Beyond that, you look at Philip Addison. I beg your pardon, this it's not a good pictorial representation of Philip Addison. Now, lawyer Philip Addison became popular in that 2012 election petition after being the lead counsel for the NPP in that 2012 election petition. He went ahead to contest in this constituency. He went ahead to contest in this constituency. He won. He lost the election, however, because Zaneto, the former president's daughter, was on the ticket for the NDC. He lost by some 43.57% to Zaneto's 50.29%. Lawyer Philip Addison lost. That's what it should tell you. Popularity alone wouldn't give you the win you are looking for. You need to put in other works. Zaneto was popular then. Zaneto also was very popular, but it was the first time she went ahead to win the election. Now in 2020, Philip Addison wanted to contest. He got disqualified by the party. It became an issue. He got disqualified, chased out of the party, and all of that. So MPP presented a new candidate in 2020 in the person of Prince Appiah Deborah. Prince, however, was not able to maintain the momentum for the NPP. His marginal, he had a big drop from 46% as Lawyer Addison was doing then. He came down to some 44.07%. Zaneto, however, still maintained her percentage around 50. Still maintained her percentage around 50 and won the 2020 parliamentary results in this constituency as well. Now, this is how it has been from 2008 to 2020. In 2024, this face is not going to be on the ballot for the NPP. However, this face is going to be on the ballot for the NDC. We are going to have Zaneto Agyeman Rawlings as against Valentino Ninoy. Now, I mentioned earlier that Valentino is not a new face within the constituency, because he has been at the forefront of the party since 2020. In 2016, he contested as an independent candidate, lost the elections. Actually, he contributed to why the NPP lost in 2016. He got about 5% of the vote in 2016, or he got at least some 3% of the vote in 2016, taking the vote away from the NPP then, because Lloyd Addison would have needed that vote. Philip Addison would have needed that 3% to be able to beat Senator Adjman Rawlings. However, Ninoy took that away as an independent candidate. In 2020, he couldn't get onto the ticket of the NPP. In 2024, he's now on the ticket for the NPP in the Clotte-Collie constituency. Will he be able to defeat a person who has become a big figure within the constituency? Will he be able to defeat a big face within the constituency in the person of Senator Adjman Rawlings, a two-time parliamentarian for the constituency? Would he be able to defeat this person? Time will tell. Now, in this 2024 election in the constituency, there are key issues that is going to determine that is going to determine the vote pattern for the constituent, or the voting decisions the constituents will make. Now, if you look at the location where this constituency is, one key issue has been flooding in some areas. Part of Adabaka, as I mentioned, is part of this constituency. Parts of that area get flooded when it comes to the rainy season. Even part of Osu still gets flooded until date. So it is going to be one of the key issues. Who can solve their perennial flooding situation? Again, this constituency is also known for its vibrant business environment. If you go to Osu, those who use Osu, they know that Osu is one of the vibrant business environment, especially nightlife. The Oxford Street has that nightlife. Who is going to give the business community in the Osu anything cliffs that support the need to keep on functioning? Security is another key issue of theft here and there, because it is a nightlife. That place people spend their day, their night doing business, going around around their business. Who is going to provide them with that security they need to prevent the theft here and there? It's another key voting issue that the voters in this constituency would be considering. Then again, in this constituency, it is also going to be how the candidates are able to present themselves to the electorate, how you position yourself to the electorate. As you can see on your screen, that was Senator Adjman Rawlings dancing with the supporters of the NDC. How available the visibility wise would also be very key. You need to be visible. The community need to see you. You need to be somebody that they can readily call upon when situation arise. And that will be another key issue in this constituency. The issue of jobs will reign supreme, will also be there. Issue of jobs. Are you going to provide jobs for the youth within the enclave? Provide a conducive business environment for the business community and all of that. So in 2024, 16 days to the elections, Clotte-Collie is going to be a very key constituency. Watch out for Senator. I can say that she's not going to have it easy. She's not going to have it easy. Who wins the 2024 elections? Is it Senator of the NDC or Valentino Ninoy? Senator is not going to have it very easy, because Ninoy, as I mentioned, has built himself over the years in this constituency, contesting as an independent candidate, from there going to contest under the ticket of the NPP, and now being on the ticket for the 2024 elections. He is going to present himself as a very viable alternative to what the Senator Adjman Rawlings has provided in the last 8 years. Now, with the sudden demise of Zanetto's father, who was a very key figure in this constituency, could play into his daughter's favor. With the sudden demise of the father, will Zanetto still have the confidence of her voters in this constituency? Will the voters still have that father love they had for her father? Will that father love be transcended onto her? It's another key thing to look out for in this constituency. So like I mentioned, keep your eye on Clottey Colley constituency. The 2024 elections, especially the parliamentary elections, is going to be dire in this constituency, and Zanetto is unrelenting with what she's doing. If you look at her campaign so far in the constituency, now she's another very I must mention that she's another very I would say very vocal figure in parliament. She speaks in parliament from now here and there. Though if you have voters in that constituency who, especially those who are in the upper class, who want to see their MP speaking in parliament, who wants to see their MP contributing into lawmaking decisions, then Zanetto will have that advantage. Beyond that, Ninoy is a youthful figure as well. Just like Zanetto, Ninoy is very youthful. He engages in the constituent a lot. So it is going to be very key for these two contenders. Can Zanetto? Oh yes. And also remember that in this constituency, no parliamentarian has gone beyond 8 years. So Zanetto, if she's able to go beyond 8 years, she's going to be making history for herself and the NDC. No parliamentary candidate has been able to win beyond 8 years or beyond 2 terms, as you would call it. So it has always been 4, or you get at maximum 8 years. Can Zanetto surpass that 8 years James? Or Ninoy is going to bring in the that youthful exuberance, is going to bring in that new alternative for the constituency and unseat the NDC candidate? Is Ninoy going to break, or not even break, going to maintain that precedent that has been set, that no one goes beyond 8 years in this constituency? So let's see what will play out in this constituency in the 2024 elections. And this is how things are going to look like in the Clottey Colley constituency of the Greater Accra region. Keep your eye on this, and in our subsequent bulletins and our subsequent engagement, we will bring you all the live update that will emanate from this constituency to your doorstep. And this has been Politics Today on ABC News Ghana. I am Samuel Nyimabo. We'll come your way tomorrow with another constituency analysis, which it might be in your constituency. So don't take your dial away from ABC. We might come to your constituency to analyze how your constituency will look like ahead of the 2024 elections. Who is likely to win in your constituency? So tomorrow, keep your dial here on ABC in the morning, and even follow our YouTube channel. And as we say on Poll Center, we say that vote not violence. We don't want anyone to indulge in violence in this election. Go to the ballot, vote, and leave. Come back after 5 p.m. and hear the results. When the results go in your favor, jubilate and go home. If it doesn't, go home. Let's not indulge in violence in these elections. I've been your host on Politics Today, Samuel Nyimabo.
mid-year budget review with some key allocations.
We are currently here at Tanishi.
When the news breaks, we are there. In the heart of matters arising, we follow through with the right question. Don't miss a beat with our in-depth news analysis. From breaking news, special feature stories, latest news, we bring you the stories that matter. Our team of immersed reporters bring you the news as it happens. Join us every 6 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. each day for a comprehensive look at the stories beyond the headlines.
You're watching ABC News GH.
ABC News GH, your trusted source for news.
This is where the headlines are probed, policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it is a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to resolve? Have you thought about managing that head-on?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the fray to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana Television.